So let's talk about this idea, this focus on scale. How the smallest parts of our lives can actually wield enormous power.
Absolutely. And the challenge that presents for, well, self-control, self-mastery.
Yeah, and right away the material makes a pretty bold claim, doesn't it, about accountability?
It really does. It sets the stakes incredibly high.
Yeah.
Basically says, look, if you're going to teach or lead, you're held to a tougher standard.
A higher bar.
Exactly. And it ties achieving, perfection directly to controlling what you say, your words.
Okay, so how does it illustrate this? The analogies used are pretty vivid, like controlling something big with something tiny.
Right. Think about a horse. Massive animal, powerful.
Mm.
But that little piece of metal in its mouth, the bit,
Yeah.
that tiny thing dictates exactly where that huge animal goes.
Yeah.
Little pressure, big change in
Or
direction.
the ship example, right.
Yeah,
A huge vessel, storms blowing, but the direction comes down to that small rudder.
precisely. A small instrument guides the whole thing. The pilot points it. The rudder makes it happen. Little part controls the entire path.
But then there's a shift, a pretty dramatic one. It goes from steering, which is, control.
To destruction. Yeah, it's quite the turn.
Because the tongue isn't just compared to a rudder, it's also like a spark, a tiny little spark.
That can set a whole forest ablaze. A massive destructive fire from almost nothing.
And the text really leans into this, saying it corrupts the entire person. It even says the source of this fire is, well, not from here. It's really strong language.
It is. It frames it as something deeply corrupting, originating from, let's just say, a very negative place. Hell, essentially.
Wow. Okay. And then there's the contradiction, the paradox of it all.
Oh, definitely. How we use the same mouth for, blessing God, saying good things.
And then turn right around and use it to curse people, people made in God's image, no less.
It's presented as completely unnatural. Like you wouldn't expect a spring to give you clean drinking water 1 minute.
And then suddenly, gush, bitter, salty water the next. It just doesn't work that way. Or it shouldn't.
Right. Good and poison from the same source. It's fundamentally inconsistent.
So, what's the conclusion there about our ability to manage this?
Well, this is the kicker. It points out that humans, we've managed to tame all sorts of creatures, right?
Yeah.
Animals, birds, reptiles, things from the sea.
Yeah, we're pretty good at that.
But the text makes this absolute statement. No human being can actually tame the tongue. Not fully.
Get one ever.
That's the claim. It remains this restless source of evil, like a spring of poison that we just can't cap on our own.
Okay, so that's the danger, the chaos potential. But there must be an alternative, right? A positive path. This brings us to wisdom.
Exactly. It asks, what does it really mean to be wise and understanding? What does that look like?
And the answer isn't about being smart or loud.
No, not at all. It's about showing your wisdom through your actions, specifically through gentleness.
Mm-hmm.
Good conduct, done gently.
Which leads to the two kinds of wisdom it lays out. Very different paths.
Completely opposite. First, there's what it calls worldly wisdom. Earthly, unspiritual, even demonic.
Strong words again. What defines that?
Simple. Bitter jealousy and selfish ambition. That's its core. And where you find that kind of wisdom,
You find chaos.
you find disorder and every kind of evil practice. That's the direct result.
Okay, so what's the other path? The contrast.
That's heavenly wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's defined by its characteristics, its qualities. Things like purity, peacefulness, gentleness.
Being reasonable, willing to yield.
Exactly. Full of mercy, producing good fruit, no hypocrisy, no faking it. It's genuine through and through.
So the worldly kind might look appealing, promise success.
Promises the world, yeah.
Yeah.
But the result is always chaos, always destruction.
Yeah.
It just doesn't deliver real good.
Whereas the heavenly kind.
Leads to righteousness. But it's not accidental. Goodness. Righteousness, it doesn't just pop up. It has to be cultivated.
Like planting a seed.
Precisely. The seed that grows into righteousness, it says, is sown in peace by those who make peace. It requires active cultivation of peace.
So bringing it back to that initial idea of scale, if a tiny spark, a small word, can cause such a huge fire, it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What fires are your everyday words, those seemingly small comments starting? Or perhaps, what good things are they building in your life, in your community? Something to consider.